So in today's show, we're going to talk about building the gates for your relationships, okay, to be able to protect yourself better and make sure you've got the right people around you. Make sense? Okay, let's get into it. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Borman, and if you are coming through, please do hit the love heart button, and please do comment and let me know what you're up to over the weekend, something different. And please do share with someone that might need this right now. All right, okay, so let's get into this. We're gonna get straight into it. It's Friday. I hope you're feeling good. Hope you're ready for the weekend. So I wanted to do this one because I think it's really important that we start controlling the people. Let me reword that. Start controlling who we allow into our world. And I think this is a really interesting subject. Because one thing I don't think we do enough is set standards for the people that come into our world, into our life. And the way that I see the different brackets of friendship groups are, there are people that we know, there are people that we will stop and talk to, and then there are our inner circle. Now, the people that we know and we say hello to as we walk past, or we might just briefly have an encounter, I wouldn't necessarily consider them like friends, okay? I wouldn't necessarily consider them to be part of my life. The people that I know and would stop and maybe have a good chat with, or maybe if I was in the pub, I would have a drink with and catch up. Again, I don't think that they would necessarily be really any sort of form of or influence in my life. But it's then the people that we spend the most time with, right? And relationships can be those friendships, those friendship groups, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband, family, brothers and sisters and mums and dads. So there's lots of different relationships or different tiers of relationships. So what I really want this to focus on are the people that you hang around most, okay? The people who you see the most or you talk to the most, okay? And it's about having, and it's about setting the standard in terms of, do you know what? Like, we've got to have some form of protection about the people that come into our lives, otherwise those people are going to end up bringing us down, okay? So if you think about friendship groups as we've gone through life, and you think about junior school, man, you used to hang out with a group of people at junior school, okay? And you might now walk past them and just nod your head and be like, oh, we went to junior school together. And then there's just secondary school friends, and then there's college friends, and then there's university friends, and then there's post-university friends, and then there's friends when you get married, there's friends when you get divorced. Not that I want you to get divorced, but there is an evolution of friendship groups, because actually what happens is you change, your situation changes, the way that you see life changes, the groups that you go to change, and everything changes. Like, it's just a natural evolution of humanity. And we meet different people. And we have to be cautious that the people that are in our life for the reason you understand why they're in your life, and they're not actually bring you down. And we talk a lot about making sure that we're around positive people, making sure that we're around people that want to see us succeed, that lift us up. So I think that's what we have to manage, okay? That's what we have to manage. So one of the questions that I would always ask anybody when we were talking about friendship groups or relationships that you're in is, what do they bring to you in your world? And this is a question that I don't think we ask enough. It's like, right, let's highlight all of who I would consider close relationships or relationships of people that are important. What do they bring to my life? Okay, what do they bring to my world? How do they make me feel emotionally, mentally, physically? And I think that is a really good question to ask, because if they bring nothing to your world, if they don't support you, if they don't encourage you, but yet they still want a piece of you, and they still want to brag, and they still want to like tell you right about what's going on in their life and they're not interested in what's going on in yours, it's like a one-way relationship, right? So maybe they don't bring much to you, but I think it's important to recognize actually the good friends and the good relationships that you do have and understand what they bring to you, because it's a real telltale sign in terms of the values that they hold and the values that you hold, and making sure that they combine together to make sure we're around a good group. Okay? I think about our elite brotherhood, which is our coaching, which is our community for all the men that we coach. Okay, for our E20, Elite 28, Elite 90, Elite Squad, Elite Brotherhood. So we got like, I don't know, 150 to 180 members in there, and we all, and I like to think, what do we bring to their world? What do they bring to my world? And they bring lots of inspiration. They bring lots of fire. They bring lots of energy. They bring lots of storytelling in terms of the things they've gone through, openness, integrity, loyalty, and that works both ways. They're all the things that I try to deliver to my clients, and they're all the things that they give me, and they probably don't realize how much they inspire me as much as vice versa, right? So that's a good relationship. And what the guys and how the guys should see each other is not as competition, but they should see each other as inspiration, motivation to want to show up, to want to see that that dude broke through and got through those bad times, and now he's winning. And that's very much the same, okay, for me, in looking at them and you and your friendship groups around you. All right, so one of the things that I want to sort of just bring up why it's important to have people around you. I've often talked about this little scenario called crabs, right? It's a little story about a boy who goes onto a pier, sees a fisherman, and the fisherman's got a bucket full of crabs right next to where he's fishing. And there's not hundreds, there's loads of crabs in there, and he can see one crab trying to get out, and he tells the fisherman he's going to lose a crab. And the fisherman says to him, just wait and see, he's not going anywhere. And the crab's almost breaking free the bucket, and all the other crabs bring him back down, right? They grab hold of his legs and they bring him back down, and he's stuck in that bucket. And that's how I see friendship groups or relationships that are not healthy. And it's important to have good people around you, because actually you need people that are clapping for you. You know, you need people that encourage your success, that encourage your visions, that congratulate you when you win, that support you. They're the type of people we want around us, because what they do, they fuel what we want and what our values are and what we want to achieve and our ambitions. They don't try and hold us back. Like holding us back, like that crab scenario, is what I find a lot of people are fighting within their close relationships. Because actually, when you start evolving and growing as a human being, what we find is a lot of people, when they come and work with us, they start evolving, they start changing the way they think, they start changing their habits, they start changing their routines and their priorities. And their friends don't like it, because they then have to confront their own downfall, their own life. And then they become that crab that tries to pull you back down. So it's important to have good people around you to encourage the life that you want to live. Okay, so often when it comes to you changing, your wife should be your #1 fan. And I am baffled when the guys are saying, oh, my wife just is not taking to this, she's not. And that's because she is having to confront herself and everything that she's going through. Change is very scary for everybody around them. And I often say that actions speak louder than words. In this case, of keep showing up, keep being a better husband, and she'll come through. But it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter if it's a husband or a mum or a dad or someone else. If you see someone growing, there is going to be a natural internal jealousy. And it can turn into a better thing, or it can turn into a congratulating thing. It's like, man, you are doing so well, I am so proud of you. Or, why are you doing that? I don't understand why you're doing that. And it becomes hostile. So it's really important for you to understand and recognize the importance of that. Okay. So one of the things you need to have guards at your gate, and the guards that protect your gates to your world, to people being in your life, which by the way is a privilege. If people are in your life, they should consider that a privilege. Man, you like I don't just let anybody into my life. I'm not saying me, but I don't. I don't just let anybody in. And those guards are your values. So let me give you an example of 3 values. 3 values that I would not tolerate in my world. Okay, so number 1 is bragging. I literally can't. I don't care. I don't care what car you got. I don't care what house you got. I don't care how much money you got. Okay, if somebody's around me and bragging, I don't want to know. Okay, so the second one. Morning. The second one is arrogance. Oh, mate, arrogance. I literally hate arrogance. And there's a fine line between arrogance and confidence, and arrogance is something I just don't like as a human quality. And then the last one is selfishness. So bragging, arrogance, and selfishness, those 3 qualities, I believe that I could spot those in somebody before they came into my world and I actually started becoming friends with them or hanging out, because I don't want to hang out with somebody that's spending all night bragging and not interested in talking about something else. I don't want to talk about somebody who's arrogant to other people, because it's cringe. It's just not me. So here's 3 qualities that I do really value in a relationship. So trust, loyalty, and openness. Okay, I think communicating is one of the most important skills that we have in terms of making relationships work, friendships, family, loved ones. And I believe that if you're in a friendship group and you don't like the way that something's going, or you feel strongly about somebody's behavior or somebody's values, then it's going to be a very difficult conversation. But you've got to be able to sit down and say, listen, I just don't like the way you keep bragging, it's not something I like. A lot of people will just disappear. They just quit that friendship group and go, and they're like, where's Jay gone? Where's JB? He's just disappeared. And I think there has to be a level of openness about saying, look, this just doesn't work anymore. And it's really, really important, because the people around you, you have to make sure that the people around you are your right-hand man or your right-hand girl. And it's so, so important that you have those right people around you, because when you need to make an important decision, when you're stuck in life, when you're overwhelmed, when you're down and upset, you need those people around you. And I have friends that I don't necessarily hang about with that much. I might go out for dinner twice a year, but I know that if I needed them, they would be there like that. And when we catch up, it's like we do see each other all the time. It's like we just carry on where we left off. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to bring this up because I think part of your development and becoming a leader is really, really important, because having the right people around you creates the leader, creates the life. You don't want to be on your tiptoes thinking, there's people around me just not wanting me to win. Why would you want those people in your life? Don't just disappear from them. Have that conversation, but have it in a logical state, not an emotional state. Anyway, that's it for today. Listen, I hope that helps. People around you are assets. People around you are assets. And I'd like to think in some sort of way, shape or form that I'm some form of asset for a lot of the lads that work with me or listen to me, by just encouraging, giving them confidence to make a decision, giving them direction. And we have that relationship, right? People that watch this show, we've built a relationship. Many of you I've not met, probably 99.9% of you, but yet we have a really good relationship. I give you some encouragement, I give you some feedback, some wisdom, some experience, and you guys that's my thought of the day. Do you know what I mean? And then guys that I work with, I have a little bit more of a close relationship. Guys that I work with on a one-on-one basis or on my small group basis, man, I know their lives. I know their wives. I know their relationships. I know what they want. I know what they do. Makes sense? Keep doing what you're doing and have an amazing weekend. And if you haven't booked your ticket to come and see me talk live at the end of November, you're missing out on an unbelievable day. All the details, the brochure is on this post or link or bio somewhere around here. Go and check it out.